Imagine the scene. Mere hours after Iranian drones have struck targets in Dubai, a response is already underway. The United States military machine kicks into high gear. 20,000 additional troops are now on the move. Orders cut through the noise, planes are fueled, and there's no time for debate. Only decisive action. This surge dramatically increases the total U.S. presence in the Middle East, bringing the number to over 40,000 personnel spread across strategic locations like Qatar, Bahrain, Kuwait, the UAE, Saudi Arabia, Jordan, and Iraq. Inside a vast, echoing hangar, soldiers perform final equipment checks with focused intensity. A seasoned sergeant moves down the line, his gaze unwavering, his silence speaking volumes. Body armor, pouches, straps, each piece meticulously inspected. Across the concrete floor, a young soldier applies camouflage paint to his face. This isn't a show for the cameras, nor is it merely about performance. It's a ritual, a personal act that seems to steady him before the world outside turns deafening. Gears are packed tight, rucksacks filled to the brim, sealed, and then lifted with practiced ease. Soldiers assist each other, cinching straps and adjusting heavy loads. There's no overt drama in this cavernous space, just the sounds of buckles clicking and the low, persistent hum of a base that hasn't slept in what feels like an eternity. Somewhere within the hangar's organized chaos, a man briefly checks his phone. He doesn't unlock it, doesn't read messages. He simply holds it for a fleeting moment, as if connecting with something beyond this place, then slips it back into his pocket. The weight of what's to come hangs heavy in the air. They sit, rows upon rows of soldiers, in full battle rattle, waiting for their call, eyes fixed forward, mostly silent. A few words are exchanged here and there, the kind that fade into the background, quickly forgotten. The kind you utter simply because silence grows oppressive. The massive C-17s haven't arrived yet, so they wait. And waiting for soldiers is a job in itself, a test of resolve. 125.17, 1251 autopilot. The radio crackles with clipped commands and technical jargon. Sorry, autopilot. Let's see. Then, they appear. The first C-17 Globemaster III touches down on the tarmac, followed by a second, and then a third. These are inbound from across continents, some from the Middle East itself. These are some of the most capable strategic transport aircraft ever conceived. Each is able to carry up to 70 tons of cargo. That's like a squadron of tanks, to any point on the globe, land on short or even unimproved runways, and turn around rapidly without needing extensive support crews. They have crossed time zones, traversed continents, and flown through countless conflict zones. And now they've arrived here to do it all again. On the sprawling tarmac, the ground crew springs into action with well-honed precision. This isn't a rest stop, it's a rapid turnaround. Tires are checked, systems are inspected, every task performed with a methodical efficiency. There is an unhurried pace to their work, the kind only seen in those who deeply understand the lethal cost of taking shortcuts. Then comes the moment. The soldiers rise to their feet in unison. There's no announcement, no fanfare to mark the occasion. They simply move across the tarmac in a disciplined line. Rifles pointed downwards, boots hitting the hard asphalt, heads held forward, eyes on the horizon. They board the C-17s quietly, one by one. No one glances back. Perhaps because looking back feels too much like admitting you're leaving something essential behind. Up front, in the cockpit of the lead aircraft, 3 women move through their pre-departure checks with practiced calm. Across the U.S. Air Force, female pilots make up just over 6% of all aviators, roughly 750 out of 13,000 total pilots. Within the C-17 community, that percentage is even lower, hovering around 5%. Yet tonight, 3 of them command the same cockpit. Their mission is clear: transport thousands of troops into the heart of the Middle East. Maps are consulted, flight plans reviewed, fuel loads verified, and the weather patterns over the vast Atlantic Ocean are analyzed. Green light. The engines surge to a deafening roar, a symphony of controlled power. The C-17 begins to roll down the runway. For the soldiers packed into the cargo hold, there's no window to the outside world, only the intense vibration of the airframe and the stark knowledge that the ground beneath them is about to change irrevocably. There's no return date penciled in, no calendar to mark the passage of time. Just the mission that lies ahead. 125-117, Autopilot 230. The radio chatter continues, a lifeline to the world beyond. Not sure? Stand by. Let me find out. Level 310, 327. Who had gone all the way through? Left seat Altis? Got a little bit of closure, but not much. Yeah. Affirmative. Oh, we got loose throttles. Yeah. One thing I was like, oops. Gosh. Foot access and... Oh yeah. From the cockpit, the world transforms. Altitude is gained rapidly, and below, the patchwork of roads and fields shrinks away, replaced by an endless expanse of clouds. Inside the aircraft, no one needs to verbalize their destination. They all know, viscerally, where they're headed. 125-117 Autopilot. Sorry, Autopilot. The pilot's voice is calm, professional. The C-17 Globemaster III begins its slow descent. Inside the cavernous cargo hold, silence reigns once more. The steady hum of the engines fills the cabin, a constant reminder of the power that carries them onward. Imagine a desolate landscape stretching endlessly under the scorching sun. Through the small rectangular windows of the transport plane, the runway shimmers into view, followed by the stark lines of hangars baking in the oppressive heat. Beyond, nothing but the vast, unforgiving desert, flat and monotonous in every direction. This is the starting point. This is where the mission begins. Then, the moment of impact, the wheels of the aircraft meet the hard earth. A jolt, a rumble, and the journey's first leg is complete. The massive ramp at the rear of the plane slowly descends, revealing the baked earth. Soldiers emerge, their faces grim, stepping off in silence into the oven-like heat. Dust swirls, clinging to the tarmac. Above, the sky is a pale, indifferent blue, a far cry from the familiar skies of home. A sergeant barks a short order, a point of the finger. The troops move without hesitation. No lengthy briefings here, just quick, efficient instructions absorbed without a word. They march towards their designated quarters. The base is already a hive of activity, a testament to the constant state of readiness. They blend in, becoming another cog in the machine. But at the aircraft's tail, a different kind of operation unfolds. Soldiers, moving with practiced precision, prepare the ramp, their actions careful and coordinated. They are about to extract something that couldn't simply fly in like the troops. Something far more complex and deadly. From the dark belly of the Globemaster, an AH-64 Apache attack helicopter emerges, folded and secured like a coiled fist, ready to strike. A single C-17 transport can accommodate 2 Apaches, their blades carefully folded back along the fuselage in a blade fold configuration. The longbow radar, the helicopter's deadly eye, is stowed for transport. In a surge deployment scenario, a dozen C-17s can deliver an entire attack battalion onto the ground in less than a day. But what makes it so lethal in this environment? The longbow fire control radar, perched atop the rotor mast, is the key. This advanced system can simultaneously track up to 128 targets, prioritizing the most significant threats with cold, calculating efficiency. Imagine Iranian armor columns, fast attack boats speeding through the Strait of Hormuz, or swarms of enemy drones. The Apache can identify and engage them all, while remaining concealed behind terrain, a hunter that stalks its prey unseen. The heat intensifies, waves rising from the tarmac. The AH-64 rolls slowly off the transport, its blades still folded, its landing gear finding purchase on the foreign soil. This is one of the most feared attack helicopters ever conceived. Its arsenal is terrifying. 16 Hellfire missiles, 76 high-explosive rockets, and a 30mm chain gun capable of unleashing 600 rounds per minute. Globally, over 280 Apaches are in active service, boasting over 1.3 million combat flight hours. The true terror lies in what the enemy cannot see. The Apache's advanced targeting system can designate targets for other aircraft, coordinate fire across multiple platforms, and transmit real-time video to commanders hundreds of miles away. It's more than just a weapon. It's a networked node in a vast battlefield intelligence system, all mounted on a set of rotors. In the Persian Gulf, this capability is crucial. Iranian fast boats swarm in overwhelming numbers, and their drones fly low and slow, presenting a unique challenge. The Apache, originally designed to obliterate tanks, adapts to this new reality. Attack helicopters don't survive by specializing in a single task. Their survival hinges on versatility, on being able to do everything. Today, the air is still, but the silence is deceptive. Within hours, those deadly blades will be whirling. Within days, they will be hunting. Behind the Apache, the C-17 is already preparing for its departure. The ramp rises, the engines begin to whine, building to a deafening roar. The crew doesn't pause, their mission far from over. For them, this base was merely a delivery point, not a destination. Their journey never truly began here. The massive aircraft pivots, its nose pointing westward, back towards the United States. Back to reload, to collect more troops, more equipment, everything this sprawling operation demands. The air bridge doesn't collapse when the last Apache rolls off the ramp. It intensifies. For this crew, many of whom are women, there are no grand ceremonies as the ramp closes. No medals are pinned for another grueling transatlantic flight. Yet, their quiet, unsung efforts form the backbone of this entire operation. They transport the heaviest loads into the most challenging environments, adhering to the military's relentless schedules. And then, without fanfare, they turn around and do it all over again. They may not grace the headlines. The Apaches will, and so will the strikes they carry out. But none of it moves without these transport aircraft. And none of these aircraft move without their dedicated crews. Every soldier who stepped onto the tarmac today, every helicopter poised for action, owes their presence to those who flew them through the night. The next rotation is already in the planning stages. More troops, more equipment, more flights across the Atlantic until the order comes to stop. The relentless march of time continues, the gears of history grinding ever forward. No voice has yet risen to halt the spectacle, to declare enough. And if you were to pose the question to this intrepid crew, these tireless explorers of the past, they would undoubtedly stand firm. No, the word stop would not pass their lips. Not now, not while there are still mysteries to unravel. Secrets buried deep within the ancient earth, waiting to be unearthed. The thrill of discovery, the allure of the unknown, propels them onward, deeper into the labyrinth of prehistoric time.